You've probably seen it sitting quietly on a supermarket shelf. That familiar yellow powder in a small jar labeled curry powder. Maybe you've sprinkled it into rice, mixed it into stew, rubbed it on a chicken, and chances are you've never really questioned what it is. Because curry powder seems obvious. It's the spice that makes food taste like curry. Simple. Except that's not actually true. Because curry powder is one of the biggest food misconceptions hiding in plain sight. And once you know what it really is, you'll never look at that little yellow jar the same way again. Here's the weird part. There's no single spice called curry. And in many parts of the world where curry originated, curry powder, as we know it, barely exists. That's right. The spice blend sold in supermarkets across Europe, America, and beyond is not some ancient, authentic seasoning passed down for centuries. It's actually a product of colonial history, cultural misunderstanding, and a surprisingly successful shortcut. To understand why, we need to go back, way back, to India. India has one of the most diverse food traditions on earth. Across its regions, cooks have spent thousands of years building incredibly specific spice combinations. Not random mixtures. Not one-size-fits-all powders. Precise blends designed for particular dishes. Some recipes use toasted coriander and cumin. Others rely on black cardamom, mustard seeds, fenugreek, cloves, cinnamon, or dried chilies. And these blends change depending on the region, the family, and even the time of year. There isn't one universal spice mix called curry. There are hundreds, maybe thousands, each with its own purpose. In many Indian kitchens, spices are blended fresh for the dish being made, which is a bit like asking an Italian chef for a bottle labeled pasta powder. It just doesn't work that way. So where did curry powder come from? The answer begins with the British Empire. When British colonists arrived in India centuries ago, they encountered foods unlike anything they had tasted before. Rich, complex, layered with spices. They loved these dishes. But they had a problem. They didn't fully understand them. Many of the dishes they encountered were grouped under the simplified English word, curry. That word itself likely evolved from the Tamil word curry, which roughly referred to sauce or spiced dish. But the British turned it into a catch-all label for a huge variety of completely different foods. To them, if it had sauce and spices, it was curry. And when they returned home, they wanted to recreate those flavors. There was just one issue. Traditional spice blending is complicated. It takes knowledge, timing, and access to specific ingredients. So British merchants did what people always do when something is too complicated. They simplified it. They created a pre-mixed spice blend designed to imitate the general flavor profile of Indian dishes. And just like that, curry powder was born. This is why curry powder is less of an ancient tradition and more of a historical convenience product. It was essentially the 18th century version of instant noodles, a fast, simplified shortcut to a much more complex culinary tradition. And that explains something you may have noticed. Different curry powders taste wildly different. Some are earthy, some are sweet, some are spicy, some are barely spicy at all. That's because there is no official formula. Most curry powders are simply blends of spices like turmeric for color, coriander for citrusy warmth, cumin for depth, fenugreek for bitterness, ginger for brightness, and chili for heat. Some include cinnamon. Others add cloves. Some even contain dried garlic. It depends entirely on the manufacturer. That bright yellow color most people associate with curry, that usually comes from turmeric. Not because all curry is yellow, but because turmeric is cheap, vivid, and visually signals Indian flavor to shoppers. It's branding through color. And it worked. Over time, curry powder became so widespread that many people assumed it was the foundation of Indian cooking. But that's a bit like assuming all French food starts with French seasoning. It flattens a massive culinary tradition into a single supermarket product. And this is where things get interesting. Because curry powder isn't fake. It's just misunderstood. It's a real spice blend. People use it. People love it. It makes delicious food. The problem is believing it represents an entire cuisine. It doesn't. It represents one historical interpretation of that cuisine, a shortcut version created for convenience. And honestly, that tells us something bigger. Food has a strange way of carrying history. A small jar of yellow powder can quietly hold centuries of trade, colonization, adaptation, and cultural remixing. Most of us never think about that. We just shake it on a chicken and move on. But hidden inside that jar is a story about how cultures meet, misunderstand each other, adapt, and create something entirely new. Which means the next time you reach for curry powder, you're not just seasoning dinner. You're holding a piece of culinary history. And now you know why curry powder isn't what you thought it was. Ordinary things usually have extraordinary stories. And sometimes, the most familiar item in your kitchen has the strangest history of all. This is Ordinary Explained. If this made you see curry powder differently, stick around. Because there are plenty more everyday mysteries hiding in plain sight.